Hi.
Hi. Okay, and today we are going to be making granola bars.
Yeah, we don't make it new bars. New bars and do it here.
And she's gonna help. All right, so a few things that you're gonna need. You're gonna need a really big mixing bowl. I like to use the wide one because it makes it easier to scoop. A spatula with the scoop pattern on it because it makes it easier, you can see the shape. You'll need a cookie sheet that has at least a 1-inch dip in it. Maybe more. How big the cookie sheet is or how big the dip is going to depend on how much stuff you want to make, how many granola bars you want to make at a time. I make almost 50 at a time. It's actually 48.
And new bars is tomatoes.
Oh, okay. And somehow there's tomatoes in it.
And
you're also gonna
big.
Yeah, don't touch that glass. All right, you're gonna want parchment paper, and I'm gonna show you what to do with the parchment paper.
Glass.
Yes, that's glass. Don't touch, okay? All right, since this is a new package, let's open it. I'll throw that in the trash can. All right, so with the parchment paper, you're going to line your cookie sheet, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you that now. You're gonna want to go over the edge quite a bit because later on you're going to use the edges of the parchment paper to lift your granola bars out of the pan before you cut them. It just makes it a lot easier to do it that way. All right, so we're just going to kind of tuck that in there. And then you'll want something heavy with a flat bottom, preferably something that you can push on. Okay, Mommy sees. And what you're going to do is once you put the mixture in there, you're going to use this to press down with another sheet of parchment paper over your granola bar mixture. You're going to use this to press down, and then once again after we take them out of the oven, you're going to use it to press down. Now this is going to be a 3-part thing because I have to show you, well, 2-part. You'll have to show you what I do after I take them out of the oven and what I do now. All right, so we're going to set all of this aside for right now because we're not using this at the moment. All right, and the first thing that we're gonna add is, of course, our oatmeal. Set up. And make sure you use old-fashioned oats. Do not use the instant. They do not work. Dump that in. All of it. Oh, yay.
Now we get this.
More oatmeal. Once again, I make it in big batches because everybody eats a lot of these. All right. So that should be roughly enough for us for right now. Mate. All right, so then the next few things that I'll add, I always add in flaxseed to just about everything that I make. It's good.
I will do it.
All right, help Mommy. I always put a decent amount of flaxseed in there. It's really good for you, and my kids love it. Mix in any kind of nuts that you want. For this one, I am going to do, oh, no. Here, Caitlin. I'm going to do peanuts and walnuts. So, Caitlin, no, use your hands. Take some handfuls of peanuts out. No, leave those alone. Mommy's got to break those up. Do the peanuts. Grab some peanuts. You don't have to break the peanuts apart, honey. Just put them in. I'm going to crush the walnuts up by hand real quick. Just a little bit. That way we don't end up with a lot of walnut in some bites and no walnuts in other bites. Keep going, baby girl. Good job.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Oh, put some more in. Not all of them. Just some more. Put some more in.
Yeah, I got it.
Put a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right. So here, why don't you twist the lid back on? Twist the lid on. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is the fruit because I always do a fruit nut chocolate mix. That's what everybody in the house prefers. So I'm going to put some cranberries.
I love cranberries.
I No, here, dump the whole bag in. Whole bag. Ooh, good job. All right, let's go.
Is that all gone?
Mm-hmm. And then these are blueberry flavored cranberries, just for a different flavor to add. Sometimes I add cherries or pineapple or mango or whatever. My son requested blueberries, and because they didn't have dried blueberries, I got the blueberry flavored cranberries. All right, and then these are currants, which are like little tiny grapes. So they didn't really have any raisins. So I'm going to use the currants instead. Besides, it makes it easier. Now, okay, hold on. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon to this. Oh, no. Let mommy do this. Okay, here, you can help. A little bit of cinnamon just for flavor. Not much. It just adds a slightly spicy, exotic flavor to it. It's really good. Now, normally I try to get the mini chocolate chips, but they didn't have them. Of course, our commissary's out of everything all the time. So instead, I'm using just regular semi-sweet chocolate chips. Dump them all in. Yeah, they're chocolate chips. Let go. Let go. Now, you might think that that's a lot, but because this is dark chocolate, which is what semi-sweet is, it actually has a lot of antioxidants, and dark chocolate's really good for you. So I don't feel bad putting a bunch of chocolate in there. The chocolate also helps as a binding agent for all of the oatmeal and everything, so that I don't have to use as much sweetened condensed milk. This would be considered almost a triple batch. 1 second, honey. Let mommy do this part, okay? That way we don't make a mess. This would be considered a triple batch. Oh, thank you. Of granola bars. So normally you would have to use 3 cans of sweetened condensed milk. Well, I'm only going to use 2. And the chocolate and a little bit of honey helps to make up with the others, so that I don't have as much of a sugar or fat content to this. And I'm also using the low-fat sweetened condensed milk because I don't like the flavor. We did use that already. Set it down. I don't like the flavor that the regular condensed milk adds to it. And I find that the sweetened condensed milk, you can taste it less. And then it's, you know, it has less fat in it. All right. So now we've got it all stirred up. You want to stir up the dry ingredients before you put in the wet ingredients, because after you put in the wet ingredients, it's really hard to stir. All right, hold on, honey. Let go. All right, so we're going to put the spatula to the side, kind of create a pocket in the middle, a hole in the middle, like that we're going to pour our wet ingredients into. And then we open up our sweetened condensed milk, and we pour it in.
Is that yours?
Yes, honey, that's a lot.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to use my spatula to go ahead and scoop the rest of it out. Now, an important trick that I've learned is I'm using the spatula.
At the side, you're gonna cheese.
Yes, and I'm using the spatula to scrape the extra of this out. But if you put it back into the bowl with all of the stuff, all of the dry ingredients will stick to your spatula. And then when you go to scrape it out of the next can, it makes it very difficult. So I don't throw this can away right away. Instead, I go ahead and get all of that off of there. And then I stick it back in there until I'm ready with the next one. In a second, sweetie, okay?
Whoa, is that yours?
Yes, it's a lot. It's going to taste really yummy.
It's a mouth.
Right. Now, an important thing to remember is you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees in order to do this. I do not currently have my oven preheated because I have to go pick my son up before I would be cooking these. And because I walk and I don't want to leave the oven on at the same time, I'm going to just pop them in the oven when I get home. Now, since I'm done with these, I'll throw the cans away. put the bowl in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of honey.
I will do it.
Oh, you want help? Okay, come on. Okay, that should be enough for right now. And we'll add more honey as we need to achieve the correct consistency. All right, so now we stir it gently because you don't want it to slosh over the sides. It'll create a big mess. Do you like granola bars? Do you like Mommy's granola bars the best?
Yes.
Yes.
With this.
Those are raisins and chocolate and peanuts and walnuts and cranberries.
Cranberries are yucky.
Don't get your face too close.
It's making my face tired.
Teaching a 3-year-old proper cooking skills, not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, not too close though, okay?
Okay.
When you're cooking, you keep your face further away from it because you don't want to get your dirty anything into it, okay? That's why we cleaned our hands right before. Mommy washed her hands right before we made this.
You want? I will make the table.
So again, I said you can put any mixture of anything that you want in it.
And a Boo.
And this is gluten-free as long as the ingredients that you put in it are gluten-free. I know that celiac disease is a big thing now.
It's bigger.
My family thankfully does not have the allergies to that.
See, we have this in the pot.
We've got some in there already. Okay, so again, don't put cranberries in there. Just put cherries, dried pineapple, mango, papaya. You can put dried apples and make an apple oatmeal granola bar. I would put a lot of cinnamon in it with that one. That would be yummy. But you can put just about anything that you want into these, which is what makes making your own so nice, is you're not restricted by what the corporate manufacturers think Americans want. Like, we really want granola bars that have super sugar sweetened yogurt poured all over them so that they're hard to choke down. These granola bars are not super sweet. They're a little sweet, just enough so that you can actually eat like 4 or 5 of them if you really wanted to. My kids literally will eat 2 to 3 a day. They are constantly going in there and grabbing granola bars. I send one with my husband to work every morning. He eats it as part of his late breakfast. He comes home and he'll grab one for a snack. Caitlin, leave the kitty alone, okay? Sorry. I know, but Mommy's videotaping. Say hi to the camera.
Hi, this is our message, and this is my mommy. And I can do it. I'm Titi. I got mommy. I can do it. See, the not. See, I can't. I know. I go girl. Girl.
You are a lady.
Yes, for girls.
Yes, girls are ladies. All ladies are girls. Not all girls are ladies though, but you're a lady, right?
Yeah, girls are ladies.
Funny story about that. A little while ago, Caitlin decided that she wanted to lay down in a skirt with her legs wide open. And when I told her that ladies don't lift their legs up and let their skirts fall down and show their panties, she said that I'm not a lady, I'm a girl. And I said, well, girls are ladies. And then she just looked at me for a second and then she goes, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. I didn't know what to say to that at the moment. So instead I walked away into the bathroom and laughed until I had tears in my eyes. And then came back and proceeded to tell her that she didn't have the proper equipment to be a boy. She was born a girl, so she's stuck as a girl. That's called cinnamon. Cinnamon. All right, let's put that down. All right, so now it is time to press this in here. You're gonna get to help Mommy now. All right, so I normally tuck this over just to keep it in place while I'm dumping this into the middle of it. Okay, Caitlin, grab the spatula. No, the spatula, the black thing, the handle. Grab the handle right here. This. There you go. Now help Mommy pour it into the middle. Good job.
Is it gonna be all gone?
Mm-hmm.
That's yacht.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let Mommy see this real quick. All right, we want to scrape all of this goodness out of here because it is all yumminess. We don't want to lose a bit. Now, after a lot of time, I've learned how to judge the right amount of honey and things, but you might want to add a little bit of honey and then mix it and see. But this is about the consistency that you want. Everything is a little wet, but it's not soaking wet.
Can I do it?
In a second, sweetie. All right, at this point, I will uncurl.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Okay, stop. Watch out. All right, and now I'm going to be pushing this into all of the corners and all of the edges. That Okay, and you want to kind of lift up on the corners of the parchment paper at the same time. Okay, Caitlin, Sean, Shizukani. Caitlin, get down.
I just got in the corner.
No, you're being silly is what you're doing. All right, and lifting up on the parchment allows you to squish it into the corners really well. That way you get nice even granola bars. Rather than having some that are lopsided. Mommy's videotaping, honey, okay? All right, so now that I've got it somewhat mushed out and I've got it fairly even on all the sides, put that away. We're going to grab another sheet of parchment paper. We go through a lot of parchment paper in this house. We're going to flip it over so that the curled edges are down because that makes it stay a little bit better. Kind of set it on here like so. And then we're going to grab our glass pan and, okay, help Mommy push. Push. All right, and you want to make sure that you get all the way to the edges when you're pushing. Yes, this part of it does require a little bit of strength. All right, and then I like to just kind of smush around like this after and make sure that it's nice and even. Now this is still clean. All right, now we lift away this parchment paper, and it always has a little bit stuck to it. Don't worry about it. You can save this to do it again since I'm going to be coming back later to bake it. I'm not going to, but just so that you can see, it looks like that. Now it's all flat and I can hold it even sideways and it doesn't fall out. At this point, you're going to put it in your oven for 350 degrees for somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes, depending on how thick they cook. Mine takes probably about 30 to 35 because I make them rather thicker and it's big. But you want the outside edges are going to be very golden, but you want at least the middle of it to get a little bit golden. That shows that it's cooked and it's solidified. And once you're done cooking it, once it's ready, you're gonna pull it out. You put the parchment paper back on. You take your pan again and you smush again really hard as soon as you take it out of the oven. And what this does is it helps smush the chocolate down because it'll be nice and melted a little bit, which makes it stick together even better. And the next video that I come back and show you is where I will be lifting it out of the pan, and I'll show you how I cut them and store them. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the last part of the video on the granola bars. What I have now is the baked granola bars. You can see the color that they are. And what I do is I grip the parchment like this, and it lifts the whole thing out of the pan, because cutting it in the pan is rather difficult. So what I'm going to do is scoot that to the side, set it down. As you can see, they are quite hard. Put that out of the way, and I'm going to show you how I cut them. I'm going to be using snack size baggies to put the cut granola bars in, because it makes them last longer and just easier all around. And I use a pastry knife to cut the granola bars. I just find that it's easier with the handle. So basically at this point, they're really hard. So I just go down like this, trying not to make a mess. I hit a nut. The nuts are harder in here. They make it harder to cut. Alright, so I hit the bottom like that, and then I can take across like this, cutting, and then when you pull it away, you have a nice solid granola bar. It's just as hard as the store-bought one, so it doesn't crumble. You can bake them a little bit less if you like them crumbly, or I've also found that my kids sometimes like them in like a cereal. So what I do is I bake them kind of spread out a little bit more, and then before it's completely cool, I kind of crumble it apart, and then when it cools down, it's just like a crunchy granola. So that is it. That's the finished granola bar, and then I cut all of the rest of it. This makes a total of between 45 and 48 granola bars. The batch that I did, they're all about this size, so they're about the size of the each individual packet of the Nature Made granola bars. They have about the same, but they have so much more good stuff in them. So that is all. Thank you.